Dear listener, welcome back to the 111 Tips for Learning a Language. You're listening to episode 85, and today I want to invite you into a softer, slower way of learning, one that begins not with your ears or eyes, but with your hands. Yes, touch. Your skin is your body's largest organ, with more than 5 million sensory receptors. Every time you touch something, electrical signals travel to your brain, passing through areas that also shape memory, attention, and emotional states. When we link new language learning to tactile experiences, we are not just memorizing, we are actually anchoring words in the body. Let's explore together. Smooth surfaces versus rough surfaces. Place your hand on something silky, glassy, or polished. Notice how your breathing slows. Smooth textures often activate the parasympathetic nervous system, creating a calm mental space. In this state, you are more receptive to learning new vocabulary or grammar because your stress hormones drop, and this makes the hippocampus, which is your memory center, more active. Rough textures like sandpaper or coarse fabric have the opposite effect. They stimulate alertness and sharpen focus. This can be helpful for tasks requiring precision, such as exact pronunciation, spelling accuracy, or error correction. Tip: the next time you're doing vocabulary review, rest your palm on a smooth object. If you're drilling grammar or tricky sounds, hold something with a bit of texture to help keep your mind sharp. Touching asymmetrical surfaces. Run your fingers over something uneven, like a carved ornament or a crumpled piece of paper. Irregular patterns spark curiosity and exploratory movement in your fingers. Research on haptic exploration shows that unpredictability engages more sensory neurons, which can boost associative memory. For language learning, this means asymmetry can help you remember unusual or irregular grammar forms, which are things that don't follow the smooth surfaces or smooth rules. Tip: while learning irregular verbs, hold an asymmetrical object. Let your fingers wander, just as your mind wanders through patterns that break the norm. Organic surfaces. Food, trees, flowers, people, and animals. Touching living or once living things, for example, leaves, bark, a cat's fur, tends to activate emotional memory pathways more strongly than synthetic textures. The warmth or natural irregularity of these textures can trigger the release of oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. Why does this matter for language learning? Oxytocin not only increases feelings of connection, but also lowers fear and anxiety, and this makes speaking a new language less intimidating. Tip: pair speaking practice with organic touch. Stroke your pet while reciting phrases, or hold a piece of fruit as you describe it in your target language. Inorganic surfaces. Book, keyboard, or mobile phones. Inorganic objects, especially tools like keyboards, pens, or touchscreens, engage procedural memory. the part of the brain that stores how to do things. When your fingers repeatedly hit the same keys while typing the words, you are reinforcing both muscle memory and spelling patterns. However, inorganic touch can feel cold and task-like, so balance it with more sensory-rich experiences to keep learning emotionally engaging. Tip: use your keyboard for writing drills, but then pick up a real object related to the sentence you wrote to ground the word in a tactile memory. Now, let's move on to an interesting question. Do different fingers learn differently? You might not think about it, but each finger tells its own story, both in science and in older metaphysical traditions. When you touch something, you're not just feeling something, you're sending signals to your brain that are all finger specific. Science first. Studies in tactile neuroscience show that the fingertips are not all equally sensitive. The researchers Vega Bermudez and Johnson in the year 2004 found that tactile spatial acuity, which is the ability to distinguish fine details, varies from finger to finger. Let's see. Thumb and index finger have the densest concentration of Meissner's corpuscles and Merkel cells, and this gives them superior precision in detecting texture and shape. This is why you naturally use them for fine detail-oriented tasks like holding a pen or turning a page. What about the middle finger? The middle finger balances sensitivity with strength, and this makes it ideal for controlled rhythmic movements such as typing or pacing a gesture while speaking. Let's move on to the ring and little fingers. They have fewer tactile receptors but are more attuned to detecting pressure and vibration, and these are helpful in sensing emotional cues through touch, like a handshake or the texture of fabric. Why does this matter for language learning? Because every little difference counts, and also because your sense of touch engages your somatosensory cortex, which connects to memory systems in the hippocampus. Every time you use your fingers in a purposeful way while learning, it can be tracing letters, pointing at an image, or running your fingers over an object, you're adding a physical memory trace to the mental one. This multi-sensory coding strengthens your recall of what you have learned. Now, the metaphysical lens. Across traditions, from Ayurveda to reflexology, fingers are linked with different emotional and mental qualities. The thumb. The thumb signals willpower and grounding. Associated with the element of fire in Ayurveda, it represents self-determination. Using your thumb in learning tasks, such as tracing words in air, like I'm doing right now, may enhance focus-heavy grammar study. Next is the index finger. The index finger signals direction and clarity. Called the teacher finger in some traditions, it relates to vision and pointing the way forward. It's perfect for naming objects, learning new vocabulary, or directing your attention intentionally. Now, the middle finger. The middle finger signals balance and control. Linked to the element of space, it symbolizes structure and equilibrium. Using it while tapping rhythms or pacing your speech can help with fluency and sentence timing. The ring finger. The ring finger is the fourth finger, and it symbolizes emotional resonance. Connected to the heart meridian in traditional Chinese medicine, it can enhance empathy and creativity. Touching objects or textures while storytelling or writing in your target language may deepen emotional expression. Lastly, we have the little finger. The little finger signals communication and connection. Associated with the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication, it's considered the messenger. Incorporating it in tactile activities like gentle drumming on the desk while speaking can energize conversational flow. Why not try it? Now, why this works even if you're skeptical? Whether or not you believe in metaphysical symbolism, research confirms that changing which finger you use can alter how your brain processes a learning movement. Using your thumb and index for detailed work may improve accuracy. Using your ring and little fingers in tactile tasks can tie learning to a broader, more emotional or social memories. This means that you can design your study moments more deliberately. For grammar, why not engage the thumb and index with precise tracing or writing? Storytelling, let your ring finger touch something soft or warm to invite emotional tone. Conversation practice, just keep the little finger moving to keep social energy flowing. You're not just touching, you're teaching your brain through your hands. Closing thought. Touch is not just a physical act, it's a bridge between the outer world and your inner memory bank. When you link words to tactile sensations, you create stronger, more emotional memories. So, the next time you sit down to learn, don't just open your notebook. Place something in your hand. Feel its texture. Let the sensation become the quiet background music for your study. You'll be surprised how much more your words will stay with you. If you like, I can guide you in class to design a tactile learning toolkit tailored to your learning goals. You deserve a learning process that feels as good as it works. Until the next time, I wish you gentle hands, grounded focus, and words that feel like home. Namaste.